Welcome back. In this section, we're going to learn about veins in the upper thoracic area and in the neck. And remember, for veins, blood is returning back to the heart. So we are going to start further away and then travel back towards the heart. So our last blood vessels will be the blood vessels that drain directly into the heart. So let's start with draining blood from the outside of the head, and that is going to be the external jugular vein. So you need to write the word vein for all of these veins we're talking about. And then hopefully it makes sense, and also because we learned it before when we learned about the jugular foramen, all the blood from inside the skull from those sinuses will drain into the internal jugular vein. Now, the external and internal jugular vein do not join together. There's no such thing as a common jugular vein. And what happens is they are going to come down parallel to each other in the neck, which you can see in the drawing in the middle where the black arrow is pointing to the internal jugular vein. We've got the little vertebral vein going through the vertebral foramina, and then this one is the external jugular vein. So that's from the side view. From an anterior view, look at the model on the far right. This is a blood vessel draining from the upper extremity, and you notice that there are two blood vessels draining into it. The one that is more lateral is going to be the blood vessel draining from outside the skull, and the one that's more medial is the one draining from inside the skull. So the yellow arrow is pointing to the internal jugular vein, and then this structure right there would be the nubbing of the external jugular vein that you could see on that particular model. Now, you cannot see the external jugular veins on all the models, but there are several models where you can see it, so make a point to look for it. So, what blood vessel are both the external and internal jugular vein draining into? They're draining into the subclavian vein. So when we look at the model picture, this is the clavicle right here. It has been cut so that you can see this vein that's just deep to it. So the subclavian vein is coming along, then the external jugular vein drains into it. Then the subclavian vein continues on until the internal jugular vein drains into it. Once the internal jugular vein, as seen in the cadaver pictures, is drained into it, the continuation medial will have a new name. So it's just like a road that goes to a certain intersection, and after that intersection, that road has a new name. And the new name is called the brachycephalic vein. So brachycephalic should sound familiar because we had a brachycephalic trunk, which is an arterial blood vessel. And that was sending blood to both the upper extremity and the head on one side. But there was only one. Brachycephalic veins, there are two. So there is a right brachycephalic vein and a left brachycephalic vein. And so the subclavian vein was bringing all the blood from the upper extremity, and with the external and internal jugular veins now dumped into them, it's forming the brachycephalic vein because now all the blood from the head, internally and external of the skull, have been joined together. If you look at either the cadaver picture or the models, look at all the pictures, what you will notice is the right brachycephalic vein is a decent size, but the left brachycephalic vein is quite a bit longer. And that's because its origin is on the left side, but it has to travel across the midline to get to the right chest cavity to join up with the right brachycephalic vein. In other words, the two are not meeting in the middle. The one on the right is just going here, and the one on the left has to travel all the way across to meet it. And when the two brachycephalic veins join together, coalesce, merge, whatever word you want to use, they are forming the superior vena cava. So the superior vena cava has all the blood from above the level of the heart draining into it. And then the inferior vena cava is dumping into the heart with all the blood from below the level of the heart, everything from below the diaphragm. Okay, and with that, we are going to stop with this exploration of blood vessels in the upper thorax and neck area, and we will continue with more blood vessels in the chest shortly.